it's your girl Queen, and welcome to a brand new podcast hosted by me. We'll be discussing so many different topics, giving so many different opinions. So please, 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 if you can, leave a comment. You can talk about the topic that we're talking about today. You can talk about, I'll give you the topic that we'll be talking about next week. And if you want to comment questions, responses, concerns about it, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. But today's topic is, can co parenting work effectively without sex? And if it does, were there ever feelings involved in the first place? So, my opinion on that is that you can have a co parenting relationship that works effectively, but both parties have to be mature. If anything's not working in a co parenting relationship, then one of the parties are not mature. I'm actively going through this problem with a baby daddy of mine, and I have three. I ain't ashamed to say it. But the second one, we can't even hold a conversation without arguing. And I'm not saying it's just because I'm me, but he's the immature one. The relationship started off as a lie. I started off as an unknown side chick. And from then on, it's been bitter ever since. So I feel like him being as immature as he was then and still being immature now, it doesn't help the situation. So now we actually have to talk through my mother. Like, he'll say something to her, she'll respond, she'll tell me what he says, I'll say something, like literally in the middle. We have nothing to discuss. And I feel like it's all about his maturity. Men mature slower than females. It's a scientific fact. You can agree to disagree or however you want to see it. But men mature way slower than females. He's older than me. I'm only about like 1 or 2 years, but he is older than me, but I'm still mature than him. Is that a word? Mature? Shit, fuck it, this ain't school. I am more mature, than him. So, it makes the situation on my end, I feel like it makes it bad for the child in the end if the parents can't co-parent without sexual contact. You got some females who will use the child as a pawn. You got some males who will get mad at the female and stop talking to the child. So I feel like it's all about maturity. If two people can come together and, hey, so and so has a soccer game today. Okay, cool. Keep it short and brief. Don't try to be friends, because to me, I feel like if you can be friends and co-parent, there were never any feelings involved. I feel like that goes back to being in a relationship. If you actually love somebody, you can never be their friend. You never actually stop loving someone. You can stop being in love with them, but you can't stop loving them. So I feel like if you can still be friends, that's even with an ex. If you can still be friends with an ex, even if you don't have kids together, I don't feel like real love was ever even there. I really don't. So I feel like you can't try to be friends with the co-parent, because either somebody's lying to themselves or the other, or it's all a fake out just to try to keep things nice and cordial. I feel like just trying to keep all the conversation short and brief. Every sentence should be about the child. It should never be, what you doing today? No, it should never be that. It should, be respectful. Don't get me wrong. Be respectful. If you need little junior picked up from school at the last minute and you got to see what daddy's doing and you don't want to be rude and be like, well, go pick up your son. I feel like it's a way to do it. You don't got to be in a friendly manner or what you doing today, like flirty. You can say like, something came up, daycare's closing, is it possible you can pick him up? Like, it's about respect and communication. I always say the two things most important when it can come in relationship, friendship, family. Respect and communication will get you a long way. So I feel like you can't be co-parents if you still have feelings. You cannot be co-parents if it's only sex involved. It in my opinion, you either just have to have not had feelings in the first place, and it was just something that happened, or you can just be mature enough to set your feelings aside and just be like, you know what, we have to be co-parents because at the end of the day, it's for these kids, it's for the child. Um, Now, when it comes to your co-parents having a significant other, getting along with that person is very important because for me, it's very important that if my baby daddy has a girlfriend, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to go to the club with you. We ain't got to talk on the phone, but we have to at least be cordial. And in my situation, I can't stand the bitch. And because of what she heard from him, lies, she probably can't stand me either. So I feel like it's important when it comes to family for everybody to try to get along. And don't get me wrong, everybody's not gonna get along. You're gonna have a cousin that can't stand you and this and that. But when it comes to your co-parent having a significant other, it's very important for everybody to be able to get along. Because if the more people that show up for their child, the better. It's so many mental health issues going on with our black people, and I just feel like it starts at home. Like it really starts at home. And when kids see great relationships between mother and father, mother, father and girlfriend, mother, father and boyfriend, it helps with their anger, it helps with their communication, it helps with them in the future with their own family. So I say this again to say it had to have not been feelings in the first place when y'all were creating that child, or y'all just have to be mature enough to be able to sit your feelings to the side. You can, like I said, you can never fall out of love. To me personally, this is my opinion. I don't give a fuck if y'all agree. This is a show to agree to disagree. But either put your feelings to the side and be mature and be able to co-parent, or you just never had feelings in the first place. And like I said, to show up. Let's say little Junior got a football game. The more people that show up and show that child love, it helps the child in the long run. Respect, learn how to talk to each other. Not just an aggressive, because I'm an aggressive talker, I will admit it. I am guilty. But respectfully talking to one another, and it's not just one party, it's both. If one can't respect, you can do like I do, which is why I can't talk to my second baby daddy now. Cut him off. You cannot have the child hearing disrespect from another parent, because he's gonna grow up or she's gonna grow up thinking that disrespect is okay. Learn how to talk and be respectful to one another. Communicate with one another. You cannot. I have family members now trying to co-parent without communicating with each other. It's not possible. It's not. It may work for a week or two, but eventually you have to talk. Kids have emergencies come up. Kids get hurt. Kids have activities at school. Maybe you want to go to a field trip and you don't want to bump into dad, so you want to see if dad's coming. Like, you have to communicate. You have to be mature enough to communicate, and it doesn't come with age. You got 15-year-olds know how to be more mature than some of these 40-year-olds out here who can't even talk to other adults because they're so immature. It comes with how mature the mind is. So it really is about communication and respect. And if you still have feelings, you can't. I'm not saying you can push your feelings to the side and ignore your feelings and try to co-parent. I'm saying if you're mature enough to understand that the situation did not work and you're able to move on and soon, or hopefully in the near future, fall out of love and just love that person for who they are, which is the other parent to your child, I guarantee that situation will work. I guarantee if you have those two things, respect and communication, that situation will work. Because what I'm going through right now, as far as a third party in the middle of me trying to help me co-parent with my son, that's only going to work for so long. I'm afraid of the time where I'm going to actually have to communicate with my child's father. But when it does happen, I'm just hoping that he is mature enough to be able to have a conversation with me about our child instead of having a third party involved. Now, some people actually have to have it just doesn't work as far as a third party, as far as like a legal agreement. Um, to have, I know somebody, I have an ex who he's had a pickup drop off joint custody agreement for so long, but again, that's a different type of thing. Because it's legal. It's like some people have legal relationships because of what happened in the past, and some people just feel like that they'll never get. That's why you have mediation. They'll just never get it. And the legal route is the only way to be able to co-parent, and that works to a certain extent, but it hurts the child in the long run. It really hurts the child because one, they grow up thinking that that is okay. They think that that's okay to have to, okay, I'm gonna get dropped off, I'm going to mommy's house this weekend, daddy's gonna meet mommy at the police station so we can do a swap. I just feel like that just mentally hurts the child in the long run. And I'm not trying to down a relationship like that, because what works for you and keeps your household sane is what works for you. But from what I've seen, it definitely is a big part of the mental issues that a lot of our black people have in the community now. Not seeing a strong household, not seeing the right communication. I personally grew up, communication sucked. Yelling all the time, cursing all the time, and I do that now, and I'm trying to work on it. So if they see mother and father arguing and not being able to communicate, it's going to rub off. It's going to rub off. So yes, co-parenting can work without sex. Yes, it can work if you put your feelings to the side. No, it cannot work trying to have a third party and not communicate at all for the next 18 years. It just doesn't. Even with those drop-offs at the police station or at the library or wherever you do drop-offs at the shopping center, you're going to eventually communicate. Tell me somebody who have had drop-off situation for years and not said two words to the other. Just show me that person. Show me that person, and I'll shut the fuck up and won't have an opinion at all. Just give me give me an example of somebody who can say, "Oh, I did that," truthfully, honestly. It's really about the children. Once you spread your legs or lay between those legs and make a child, how you feel goes out the window. Your comfort goes out the window. So don't complicate it with sex. Don't complicate it with trying to make it work for the child, because you're not doing anything but hurting the child in the end. Co-parenting relationships can work as long as we have two things: respect and communication. So I need y'all to go ahead and drop a comment, drop a question, drop anything that you have to put in on this topic this week. Can co-parenting work with sex, or do you feel like it works better without sex or feelings involved? And let me know how y'all feel. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all been through, because I love personal experiences. I love stories about issues, so just let me know. Next week we will be talking about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. So we'll get into that. If y'all want to leave comments on this week's episode, you can leave comments about your favorite positions, what you hate about in the bedroom, what could be better in your bedroom, what turns you on, any type of comments you can think about sex. It's no holds bar. It's PG 95. It can go all the way up from age 21 to 95. We don't have no limit on here. Long as you of age. 21, baby, 21. We can talk about anything. So just give me y'all opinions about anything you want to talk about as far as sex. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, and drop it down low. Until next week, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness.